How are y'all doing today? Today I wanted to use Flamigo in the RU tier. The RU tier just opened up. The UU tier finally settled down a bit, and they're starting to fix it up, ban some stuff, and things are rising and falling, so of course the metagame's still in flux, but we're going to shift all the way down to RU. RU is where things start to get interesting for me. I like generally lower tier Pokemon anyway, so today I wanted to use Flamigo. Flamigo is pretty interesting. It's not really that fast, but with the Choice Scarf it can be passably fast, and it's not really that strong, but Scrappy is a decent ability and has really strong moves. That really helps it. Today we're also going to use Zoroark, because Zoroark can disguise itself as Flamigo and bait in Slowbro. So that's what we're aiming for there. And then finally we've got a bunch of other helpers all along the way. Looking at my opponent's team, they could lead off with a Frost Slash, trying to get up some spikes. That would be pretty annoying against my team. Don't think I like that. I don't want them to do it. And Frost Slash is probably faster than everything on my team, other than Flamigo. So I think I'm going to lead off with Flamigo. And I'm going to disguise the Zoroark as a... I don't know, Appleton maybe? Just so maybe they'll go into Tauros on it. Alright, good. So they lead off with a Revavroom here. I'm just going to go for a U-turn here. If they stay in, at least I'll pop their balloon and I can go into my Palossand now. I think that's fine. And I'm going to get up my Stealth Rock. They go for Parting Shot, which is okay. Don't know what they're planning on going into. They could go maybe into Goodra. Cacturn works too. At least by typing it beats us quite well. But by typing we beat them, I believe, with Flamigo, right? As they go for Leech Seed. At this point, I'm actually going to go for the Choice Scarf Taunt, because this is probably Spiky Shield or something dumb like that. As they go for Zen Headbutt, which I was not expecting. So if I'd have gone for U-turn there, they would have died. I'm going to go into my Rotom. I think that's fine. If they go for Sucker Punch. Looking at their team, they have no ground types, so they don't have anything for Volt Switch. As they go into Goodra, that is fine by me. And Goodra allows me to go back into Flamigo now. I'm just going to go for the Close Combat. Up until now, I haven't attacked anything in front of me, so they may not expect me to actually do that. They actually go for Acid Armor. Interesting. I don't think it worked out for them in this case. If they don't know that I'm Choice Scarfed, with Gooey, if they are max speed, they might think they outspeed me. Yeah, there we go. So, in case you missed that, the Goodra was Gooey, which means I had a lowered speed stat. If they scrolled over my speed stat and they happen to be max speed, then they would look at that and say, oh, I outspeed them now, and they'll try to kill me. But if I were Choice Bandit or some other set, then they could not have killed me. And I don't necessarily blame my opponent if they thought I wasn't Choice Scarfed, because who runs Choice Scarf Taunt? It's a very weird set to be running. Okay, we got the Frost Lash's Focus Sash broken. I'm going to go into my Tatsugiri, I think. We go for Ice Beam. And that does a lot of damage. And I can go for the Surf. Go for the yellow color. But they lose the Frost Lash in the process, which I'm okay with. So at this point, I think we don't have enough time left in the battle to where I care about the Toxic Spikes, but I guess I can go Rapid Spin here, just to try to get them out off the field if I can. So they can kill me at any given time here. I'm just going to keep spamming Rapid Spin in case they go for the Toxic Spikes. But I don't really feel the need to go for anything else. I've already shown Surf. I would have thought Cacturn would have been a good switch in, but I don't know. Okay, let's go to the calculator here. Let's pull up Flamigo. versus River. Just see how much that does. 65%. It is pretty weak, I gotta say, overall. My Zoroark also should outspeed it. Zoroark. And I am choice specs, so we will do quite a lot of damage here. I'm gonna go into the Zoroark, which is disguised as Appleton. Just gonna throw off a Dark Pulse. So it turns out they are bulkier than the calculator was making them out to be. So they must have some HP investment or something. That's at 84% minimum according to the calc, but 69% means, what are they, max? Well, they're definitely more than max HP. So they definitely have HP and bulk investment. Interestingly, they go into Belly Bolt. I don't think that was the play. Because Belly Bolt, well, I mean, Belly Bolt isn't that particularly good against me. I have an electric type, I have a ground type, I have Zoroark, so, you know, I guess they're just throwing it away. I do actually have the choice spec psychic for this though, so I'm not particularly fussed about this. And at this point, Palossand is still good. What is not necessarily good is Appleton. I mean, Appleton is sort of nice for the Cacturn still. What do I want to sack? Maybe I will sack the Palossand after all. We go for close combat and that doesn't do anything. So now I will go for a double here into my Rotom. If they go for the fire move, I will resist that. If they go into Cacturn, which I believe they will go into, then we'll still be fine on that front. So all of my pieces are pretty useful against them still. I still have the Flamigo, which still isn't going to be troubled by the... Okay. We go for Raging Bull, that's fine too. And now I'm just going to spam Discharge. They actually miss a Rock Slide. So I'm a bit unfortunate for my opponent. They had Rock Slide, which I don't usually see on Tauros, but is an option. And they missed, which is... you know, not the most likely thing to happen. We'll just overheat here. They can Sucker Punch. They've already used their Terra type up though, so they can't go for that. Oh no, they haven't used their Terra type. I misspoke. Okay. I'll just discharge here. I used my Terra type. That's what happened. Right? No, I didn't. Nobody's used their Terra type yet. Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, and I don't care if they go for the Sucker Punch. I don't think that matters. Okay, we get another pair there. That's fine by me. Now I'm going to go into my Zoroark. And we'll just kill them with the Dark Pulse. And that'll be game. We go for Sucker Punch. Doesn't matter. I'm a Dark type anyway. Alright, let's get another game. Oh, I guess I'll wait until we end this battle so we can get a few points onto the ladder. Then we can look for another game. Alright, game 2. Game 2, we see a Slowbro, we see a Tauros. We got Mabostiff, which is cool. Mabostiff has Intimidate, but Flamigo has Scrappy, so it doesn't care about that. And then we also have the Espeon, which will outspeed my Zoroark. And could have Dazzling Gleam, which would hit both Flamigo and Zoroark. So I do have max bit of Palossand that can help deal with Espeon. So I just have to remember to go into that. I'm going to lead off with Zoroark here. I'm going to disguise it as the Flamigo. I want to see how my opponent plays this out. So if they go off with a Balmasnow here, they may be worried about me going for a fighting move. So you would go into your Slowbro. So I'm going to Dark Pulse here. As they stay in and just go for Blizzard. So if I had gone for Flamethrower there, and they would have died, and that would have been good for me. But I don't necessarily disagree with that play. Here I'm going to U-turn. Because at this point, it's obvious who I am. And so now they're definitely going to switch out. And we still have Rotom, and they still have no ground type. So I still, as in, this is the second opponent in a row who didn't load up a ground type against multiple strong electric types in the tier. So we can just do this over and over again. And the snow will run out soon. So I don't think this is losing me anything. And this isn't a play that they can keep making over and over again and make any progress. I don't think. I'm just going to Tatsugiri here. And now I will go into my... I'm gonna go back into my Flamigo. They don't probably have a psychic type that can threaten me right away. And if they go Hariyama expecting me to either fall asleep or to go into Palisand or something, this is a more offensive play. At this point, I can just spam Brave Bird, because Brave Bird does a lot to Slowbro, it does a lot to Tauros, and they cannot switch in on Brave Bird. So something has to die here, I believe. Like I said before, I am scrappy, so I don't care about Intimidate from either Tauros or from the Mabostiff, potentially. So they lose their Abomasnow, no, I'm fine with that. Their Mabostiff is Stakeout. So let us see how much Mabostiff takes from Terastallized. Mabostiff. We go with Flamigo, and it'll be Terra Flying. That does not kill. I want to keep this alive. So let's ask ourselves, what don't we need? We don't need the Appleton particularly much. Psychic Fangs doesn't do very much. I think you should have always gone for Crunch myself, but that's just me. I'm just going to drop a Draco Meteor here. They go for Play Rough and kill me, that's okay. I didn't really need it, like I said. Now at this point, I can go back into Flamigo, and you have to decide what I'm going to do. I'm going to U-turn here always, because I knew that was going to happen. Now we can go back into Rotom, and we'll just Volt Switch again. Alright, obviously I didn't kill before. I was scared out or whatever. Go back into Flamigo here. They don't have Protect on this, so it's always a guessing game as to what I'll do. Actually, I want to do the calc really fast on Flamigo. Yeah, close combat does nothing. So, U-turn here. Okay, they get me that turn. I'm going to sack my Tatsugiri as they go for the Crunch, which is what they should always be going for, because you can't switch into that. And now I just get to click Brave Bird against the rest of their team. So I'm actually going to Terastallize into a Flying type here, because that'll just kill everything. Like, look at the team, look at Flamigo, and they don't really have anything for it, I don't think. They are Choice Scarf Power Gem. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have sacked that. I got a little bit cocky there. Okay. I'm going to go for the Earth Power as they go Hariyama, which makes a lot of sense. And, I think I need to save that. So I will now go for the Discharge. And now I'll have to shore up here. Up here. Again, knockoff will do less this time. Okay, we end up at a okay amount of HP, but Mabostiff should be able to come out and just win. Let's Earth Power first and see what's up. Okay, yeah. Alright, so I sacked my Flamigo to a Choice Scarf Espeon, so that's my fault. Don't underestimate your opponent and sack them on that you need to sweep in the end of the game. Okay. Here, let us lead off with Palisand, because I want to get up Stealth Rock in this game for sure, for sure. And then we lead off with Cloth, thinking the same thing. Once again, I think, what should Zoroark be disguised as? Something that scares out Primate, which would be Flamigo, I think. Oops. Back. Dang it, gotta do everything again. There we go, Flamigo in last. Okay, good. They did lead off with Cloth, like I thought they would. And I'm going to get up my Stealth Rock. If they can get up their own Stealth Rock, that's fine by me. I'm actually going to click the Shadow Ball. Woo! Okay, so they have Knockoff and Anger Shell. I don't know if Ignis Shell is the best option always on Cloth. If I feel like having I don't know what I'm trying to say. Alright, let's just go for Surf here. I don't want to stay in. Okay, they're faster, so that is max speed. No, yeah, okay, max speed obviously makes sense. There's Flamigo, that made more sense. Should have done that from the get-go. Close combat? Yeah, they have Vivian, but that's the only thing that can switch into close combat. And if it is not heavy duty boots, then it'll take 50%. Yeah. I wonder. Yeah, you'd go into a ghost type, right? If I had to guess. No, they just rapid spun in front of me. That's pretty confident play on your part to go for that. All right, let's go for Flamethrower here. Now we'll go into Rotom. Want to get a feel from my opponent here. I'll go for Overheat as they go for Light Screen, which is fine. I mean, it's not really fine. What are you going to go into though? Veluza? Yeah, because I can discharge you and get a pair. Goodra makes a lot of sense. And Primeape, I guess, makes some sense. But you don't know if I'm Will-O-Wisp, so maybe not entirely. I'm gonna sack my Appleton, I think. Go for Apple Acid a couple times. 317 speed versus 339 speed means that I can drop their Spadef and then they won't be able to Rage Fist kill me. I can kill them with Zoroark, yeah. So let's drop a Draco Meteor in case they decide to go into Goodra. So at this point we can go to Zoroark and I can just click the Dark. Oh, Psychic. Yeah, so Primeape's gone. Vivian comes out, which is interesting. I'm gonna go hard into Flamigo, maybe. Hopefully they don't go for Hurricane here. So they actually go Goodra. Okay, interesting. Gonna U-turn here into Zoroark. Sack that, I think. Because I need to keep the Flamigo in the back safe. I'm gonna spam Discharge here. Spamming Discharge is good because they can't switch into it. But the difference is the Veluza could be, in theory, faster than me if they are Choice Scarf or something. So I don't know if I will beat. Okay. So now we go for Terra Brave Bird. And hopefully that kills Goodra and they're not gooey. And then Veluza comes out and hopefully does not kill me with Water Aqua Jet. Well, I killed myself. Wow, I killed myself with just recoil. Interesting. Took a lot more recoil from the Veluza than I thought I was going to. Oh, well, I don't know. I probably should not have gone Tatsugiri on the Cloth. That was obviously a misplay. I wasn't thinking about Cloth being so fast. But obviously, if they're running Ignis Shell, they're going to be fast. And then I should have also maybe just stayed in with Flamigo against the Appleton. But at the same time, I don't know. Or against the Cryogonal. But at the same time, I don't know about that because I feel like that if you tear into a ghost type, then kill me with Freeze Dry. Now I've lost one of my most potent sweepers. So I don't necessarily disagree with that play though. It just didn't work out for me. You know, this is a very annoying HO team. I'm going to lead off with my we'll lead off with my Zoroark disguised as a Flamigo. And then I'm going to U-turn into my Tatsugiri. Yes, we're going to U-turn here. They know I'm not Flamigo, probably because I got an attack drop. Now I can go to Tatsugiri as they go for Stun Spore, which is interesting. I'm just going to click Surf here. Okay, no Surf damage. That's great. Off to a good start. Now they will U-turn. I'm going to go for rapid spin. As long as I can get the rapid spin off, that's the most important thing. Okay, we did. And now I will go for surf again. Gotta sort of sack something against this Zengus. Zengus is a major problem for this team. But not anymore, because we got the surf off. So that was a more important surf than the one on the Masquerain, because now their Zengus is gone. And I will take that. And now at this point, they don't have anything for Flamigo. So I can come out and I can just Brave Bird. Now they should know that I am Flamigo. But what do you do against Flamigo? Because Brave Bird has no resists on your team. And actually I'm going to Terra Flying Brave Bird. Because that'll do more to Crocodile. That'll do more to Espeon and Bombardier. Yeah, nice to go Crocodile. And we don't see any Intimidate, so they may be Choice Scarfed Crook. And they're trying to catch me off guard here. And I am 306, they are 311, so that would outspeed me. So I think I'm going to go into Appleton on you. To go for Crunch. Ah, they were not. Very interesting. Alright, I'm going to go back into Flamigo, because you're going to get up Sticky Web here, as you do. And now we'll just Brave Bird. Obviously, they're satisfied. They got their Sticky Web up. That was their mission that they had in mind. The rest of my team is a little bit slow. I'm going to go Palisand this time. We're not going to sack Flamigo to Espeon again. Obviously, they probably are not Choice Scarfed, but in case they are, then now we know. That did a whole lot of damage to my Palisand. I am max Spadef. And that was Psychic. So, I think that's Choice Specs. Choice Specs. Yeah, that is 50 to 60%. That is 64%. So that is modest. Modest Choice Specs. Psychic. Alright, well, we can go to Zoroark now. Okay. Well, that looked weird. Strange interaction. We'll just Dark... not Dark Pulse. Flamethrower. Just Flamethrower here. My Zoroark, unfortunately, isn't going to be doing much in this battle because of the Sticky Web now. We go for Stone Edge. That's okay. We can go into... Well, let's check Bombardier versus the Flamigo. I'm no longer a fighting type, which is a bit of an issue. But I will kill them easily. I just don't want to get sucker punched. So I think I better go Rotom first. And that's the smarter option. We'll just discharge here. Espeon is a bit annoying. They get paralyzed. And they get full paralyzed. Whew. Bit of a lucky break there. I'm going to Volt Switch out. I think that's the better play. They could go for Sucker Punch. And actually, if they do, I'd regret that a little bit. But I'm going to sack Palisand here. Because I don't think it does too much. Given that that Espeon is so strong. And now I can go back into the Rotom. I'm going to just click Discharge again. Yeah. Am I Banded Bombardier anyway? In which case they couldn't Sucker Punch. Okay, Espeon comes out again. And I don't have any switch-ins, so we're just going to go for... we'll go for Volt Switch, because we do outspeed the Medicham. And that could be useful. And now we will go for... Let's see how much U-turn does. Because I don't want to die to recoil. Espeon, Flamigo, U-turn to 78%. So I'll go for U-turn here. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm going to go into Appleton. And we'll just let it do its thing. So my Appleton has heavy duty boots. Because if they get up a lot of spikes or something, you don't want your... You don't want your wall to get broken down by all the hazards coming in. And that's a pretty standard thing to see on a lot of fat Pokemon like Blissey and Slowbro. But the Palisand instead has the Covert Cloak ability, and the Covert Cloak is there specifically for Knuckle Stack, because Knuckle Stack is really annoying, but if you have Covert Cloak, it doesn't really do too much. Now the Appleton, why is Appleton on the team? It's for this first Pokemon right here, Basculin. Now a lot of people are running Slowbro for Basculin, and it definitely works, and even probably works better than Appleton. But I just wanted to try out Appleton because it will have a dedicated niche right now, dealing with this Basculin as a good switch-in. And it isn't too bad against the rest of his team, frankly. So, looking right off the bat, I actually want to lead off with the Flamigo for reals. And then I'm going to disguise the Zoroark as something that would bait in this guy, which would be the Appleton, I think. Yeah, that should be right. Okay. You're Choice Scarf, I'm Choice Scarf. I'm just going to close combat. And you're dead. I don't know if they were Choice Scarf. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. Okay, Basculin could also be Choice Scarfed. We're going to go into my Appleton because that's why it's here on the team, as they do absolutely no type of damage to me whatsoever. And now I will go for the... I'm going to go into my... Let's go Tatsugiri, just in case. Oh wow, that made me look like such a god. No, I was predicting them to go to Bronzong on the Appleton, but they actually went Arcanine on the Appleton, which is not a good play because I have Thick Fat, and I'm a special attacker, so Will-O-Wisp wouldn't do anything. So unless you play rough, Terra-type Fairy, that doesn't do anything. But I actually go into Tatsugiri, which was the mid-ground because I didn't want to go hard Zoroark because it would be apparent then that I had disguised my Zoroark as Appleton. So instead, I wanted to go into Tatsugiri because in case they stay in and make a stupid double wave crash play, I would still resist it 4 times. And if they switched out into Bronzong, I could like nasty plot up on it or something. Bit of a mid-ground play there, but it actually works out really well for me. I was not expecting Arcanine because Arcanine doesn't really do too much there, I don't think. Okay, now this guy's running Glimmet, which is really cool to see, as well as pretty scary but frail backline. Miss Maggie's does have good speed up, but not good Fizz Def, and the rest of the Mons really don't have much bulk. Even Primeape with Eviolite is not particularly bulky. Going to lead off with Tatsugiri on their Glimmet, I think, is the optimal play. And I do have the Palossand for their Magnezone, for whatever that's worth. And as for the Zoroark, we wanted to bait in the Mismagius. And on that, Palossand actually would be the best, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. So we go for Surf first. And they have no water resist on their team. So that's fantastic to see. As the Focus Sash, and they go for Dazzling Gleam. A bit annoying, but what are you going to do? And they have nothing for Rotom Heat either on their team. So I can go for the Discharge in case they decide to switch out for whatever reason. I don't know if that crit mattered. Glimmet is pretty decently strong for being a baby Pokemon. But it is annoying because we just got through talking about how they have no water resist on their team. Okay, I'm going to Volt Switch here. They go for Taunt, which I don't think that really helped them out at all. I'm going to Flamigo. And I think I'm just going to throw off a Brave Bird. They can go into Magnezone if they want. That would make a lot of sense. Or into Lycanroc. I don't know what I should go into if they go into Lycanroc. But you also don't know if I'm Choice Scarfed or not unless you stay in. I could be Choice Banded for all you know. Choice Banded Flamigo is also quite strong, especially with Scrappy. But I do really like the utility that the Choice Scarf brings because it takes the 306 speed, which is a really awkward speed tier. Right, you're getting outsped by Primeape, getting outsped by Mismagius, getting outsped by Espeon. Now all of a sudden I'm outspeeding all of them. So they make a good Magnezone play. I do like that play. I'm gonna go Palossand here. They may predict that and go into the Mismagius. Like that'd be cool if they did. They go into Espeon though, which I mean I will take that 100%. Because this is what I wanted this for. I get a crit back. I'm pretty sure that mattered, but I don't know if that mattered in the long run. So that's sort of funny. I'm actually gonna get a Stealth Rock here on this. Their Rage Fist is only 50 base power. Okay, that's fair enough. All right. Saving this. Am I saving this? I sort of want to save this for the Magna Zone. But I don't want to sack it. What don't I need on this team? Go Appleton. Gonna bulk up, that's fine. I'll just drop a Draco Meteor on their head. They are Eviolite, but this is also Primate we're talking about, which does not have very much bulk. And if they're Taunt, Bulk Up, Rage Fist, Drain Punch, then I don't really see that doing too much to me. Actually, Apple Acid is better. Apple Acid is a better lead. First of all, if they go Magna Zone, that will put them in a worse position. And second of all, I don't think I one-shot them. Let's see. Appleton versus Primate. Primate. Eviolite. Yeah, Draco Meteor does not one-shot them. So, Apple Acid into Draco Meteor is the way to go. As they go for Taunt, which is not going to help you. I wonder how much Drain Punch will do. A decent chunk. Okay, fair enough. I'm going to just go for another Draco Meteor. And we keep him low, which is good. And at this point, even with a +1 boost to defense, I think Flamigo still kills them with close combat. +1 to defense. Maybe. I mean, let's go back to Appleton really fast and just see how much I was doing with my Draco Meteor at -1 SPDEF. A -1 SPDEF with no bulk investment, you do 69 to 87, but I did 59%, so they are definitely some bulk. So let's give them max HP, max speed or something. Then that's 56 to 66. Okay, so that's like the worst case scenario in terms of bulk, I think. So we'll go back to Flamigo then. In close combat, there's 36% minimum. So I think I should be able to go close combat. If I did that math right, hopefully I did the math right. They are +1 defense. I put the +1 defense in to the calc. This is max HP, which I believe is worse than whatever they were, or worse for me at least, than whatever they were. So I can still do that. That's fine. And I'm gonna go back into Palossand now, as they go for Terra Rock, which is cool. I'll go for Shadow Ball here. They go Miss Magius, which is a bold prediction there. I don't think that was really the best play for them. I'm gonna go into my Zoroark, and at this point it's a speed tie. I don't have Sucker Punch, but you don't know that I don't have Sucker Punch. And if you decide to scout for that or something, I wonder if this is Choice Scarfed. They'd probably Flash Cannon here, right? If anything, since they've seen that I can go into my sand. No, they just stay in. Yeah, okay. Shadow Ball again. Shadow Ball again is fine. I didn't need my, and they're definitely Choice Specs for doing that much damage. And I don't need my Rotom anymore, so I'll just sack that. Now I can go into my Flamigo and click Close Combat. I'm scrappy, so I will hit the Ghost type. And if they Choice Scarf, then this is not a, then they'll outspeed me. But I don't think Miss Magus, well, I guess apparently it is Choice Scarfed. There you go, boys and girls. It's Choice Scarfed. Palossand is decently bulky still. I don't need to tear this. That's not gonna help. Actually, let's sack Zoroark. It's like quick calcs. Okay. Lycan, Rock, Dusk. You all at attacker against Flamigo. And sure, and it's terastallized. There we go. Terastallized. A Zoroark to 66 to 78%. Just neutrally. So there's no way I'm living this. And there's no reason for me to switch out there. Switching out at that point is a choke, because even though it's a neutral hit, it still is just such a strong move with the Tough Claws boost and the Terra type and the potential choice band. But even if it's not, it's still clearly going to be strong enough to take me out from 38%. So if I switch out and they're not choice band, then they can swords dance up. And once they swords dance up, then I have nothing for it. So I have to stay in and let my Flamigo go down, and then I can go into my Palossand and go from there. So yeah, that'll be it for me today. Today was a pretty hard-fought day, but we got some good wins in the end, I think. A couple of losses, but I definitely made mistakes in both of those losses, and I definitely understand why I didn't do, why I failed in those battles. But that's fine, because at least it wasn't the team's fault, right? It was definitely my fault, and it was an easy fix. I can not make those mistakes in the future. Tatsugiri, good Pokemon, good rapid spin support, a little bit frail though, I will say. And Flamigo, as long as it doesn't burn itself out in the end, I think the Terra Flying Flamigo is not bad. Quite useful. Terra Fighting is also good as well, but I have really been liking the Terra Flying, just in terms of what it's able to hit, especially like the Espeons of the world. And then, yeah, Appleton, I would say, wasn't the best. It's definitely not as good as Slowbro, but it's more fun than Slowbro, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So yeah, that'll be it for me today, and I'll catch you guys next time.